Jake, I know you guys usually have a bye week, but now this one was kind of unplanned. Just how was the process of finding out you weren't going to play and then kind of setting up the next few days to get ready for this one?
Well, I think everyone on the team wanted to play. I think everyone wanted to get back out there and get going. So when the game was canceled, obviously it was disappointing, but understandable due to the hurricane and the safety of everyone and their families. But had a really good practice on Thursday before we had off, and came back in on Sunday and today and had 3 really good practices. So just I think everyone's locked in and ready to go. Kind of put that behind us and ready to go now.
Jake, with the extra time, I guess with extra mental reps, do you think the time off actually helps you guys now that you guys are going on the road for an SEC game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the more days you have to prepare, the better. Obviously, having a few extra days to prepare for Vandy, being the first road game this year is huge for us. And just getting those extra practices, extra reps, like you said, just going to be huge for us going forward.
Jake, Rico didn't have his best game against Georgia. How have you guys talked to him since then, and what has his attitude been after that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything that's he's just. I mean, obviously he's disappointed, but his confidence is still there. He's going to continue to trust the O-line. The O-line trusts him, and we just got to find better ways to run the ball and get more creative or whatever we have to do, or do simple better. Either one, whatever the coaches have in store for us, just being able to execute better, whether it's from on him, on me, on the line. Everyone just has to do their part.
Did you and he talk about the drops?
I mean, it's not. I mean, yeah, but it ain't nothing really to talk about. Really, he understands what his job is, and I got to put the ball in a better place for him. But just be better moving forward.
Jake, from a preparation standpoint, you guys are obviously prepared to play Marshall for most of last week. When did you find out, when did you start getting ready for Vandy, and how does that differ from just a regular bye week?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think as much as you prepare for another team during the week, no matter who you're playing, you're also focusing on just getting better yourself. And that's what we do each and every week. So maybe some of the scout periods when Marshall did a certain look, we had to change it this week to obviously do what Vanderbilt does. But we continue to get better last week on what we have to do as a team, and we'll continue to get better this week and to prepare what we have to do. But like you said, while also preparing for Vandy.
Rico kind of said coming off the Georgia game and for the last few practices, Coach Muschamp kind of turned up the intensity. Did you sort of feel that, and how did it kind of manifest itself? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, that Thursday practice was probably, I mean, he said it himself, probably one of the best in-season practices we've had since he's been here. It was just really competitive. The guys just were really excited to get back out there. We did a lot of good-on-good stuff, kind of the whole practice, and really just competitive. A lot of competition stuff. You know, if whoever wins the most reps has to run, a gasser or whatever. So really just intense practice. Coach Muschamp really just pushing us to be the best we can be.
Jake, with your added prep of Vandy, just what have you seen from them on film, and I guess do they do anything different that maybe you haven't seen them do before?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team. I mean, there are a few plays here and there to, beat Notre Dame last week. I mean, they put up a really good fight against them. They're a team that we know we have to go out there and play well against. It's going to be a physical game. That's one thing that, you watch the film and kind of stands out. Just extremely physical team that we're going to have to find ways to run the ball and then execute offensively. So just really excited just to get back out there.
When you think back 2 years ago going into this game, what was sort of the mindset for you since, Perry and Brandon were ahead of you on the depth chart? And
yeah.
So what do you remember about that night?
Yeah, I was telling people in the locker room, this will be my first, and a lot of the freshmen's first time revisiting, or a lot of juniors now, first time revisiting a stadium that we were at when we were freshmen. So, it's weird. It's crazy to think about that because that feels, long ago for me, but also just crazy that, it really wasn't, I guess, in the grand scheme of things that long ago. But going to that game, I was still trying to figure out what college football is all about. I was young and I didn't really know much. It's crazy to think about how much I've learned since that game, and going in, just wanted to win. And Elliott made a big kick for us at the end and put us on top.
Jake, just going off of that, with the young guys on the team now, what advice do you give them to prepare them for their first road game?
Yeah, just to not get wrapped up in the atmosphere or anything, and just really focus on what you got to do and feed off each other. That's one thing. Feed off the energy that your teammates are bringing to the field, and to not get distracted by anything, and really just focus on what we have to do as a team to win the game.
Jake, a couple of different things. First of all, what do you remember from that game at Vandy? And it's particularly the end. I mean, 55 yards is not a gimme. Do you remember what it was like on the sideline, what people were saying?
Yeah, I mean, I know the whole team had faith that we were going to make it, and that's just the type of mentality Coach Muschamp has and everyone. But just a really exciting feeling to just be able to fight the whole game and for Elliott to put it through for us.
How much does a win like that early in a coach's tenure, you think, increase belief for the players and for everybody?
Yeah, I think it was huge. I mean, I think that, getting a big win, SEC win, his very first game here, kind of jump-started his career here, Coach Muschamp's career. But, I mean, there's a lot more games to play, and he'll be the first one to tell you that. But, yeah, it was huge for him, huge for us to go out there and get that first win.
And is Shermer a guy you cross paths with somewhere? Kyle Shermer?
The main account. Yeah, we were there for 2 years.
What are your impressions of him? I mean, his reputation is a very intelligent guy. Is that?
Yeah, that's the main thing that when you talk to him about football kind of jumps out. It's just super intelligent. Coach's kid, obviously, just really smart and really knows, everything about football. I mean, he goes to Vandy, so he must be pretty smart. But, yeah, I mean, he's a great dude, too. Great dude, real down-to-earth guy who just likes to play football.
Is there one or two things in particular that the extra week maybe made you notice about either yourself or the offensive scheme that you wouldn't have seen had you guys played a game this week?
Nothing in particular. I think it's just giving us more time to get creative with different stuff, whether it be in the pass game or the run game. Just new things here and there to get creative.
Jake, do you like playing on the road? And if so, why? If not, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool experience, for me. I think, visiting the stadiums for the first time was the cool thing. Not saying it's not going to be cool going back this year, but definitely growing up just watching football and being able to say you went and played in all these different stadiums is a really cool feeling. So, yeah, I enjoy it. Obviously, I miss being away from our fans and everything, but I know they're going to be there traveling well, so – yeah, it's a really cool experience just to see everyone in the stadium and their atmosphere.
You've watched this Vandy team once from the sidelines a couple years ago, played them last year. What would you say is kind of the personality of this defense that they kind of throw at you?
Well, I think it all stems from Coach Mason, just a very intense guy, physical guy. I mean, they're going to take it to you. You really got to, be physical all game long. I mean, they're not going to have any quit in them. Really just a physical team that's going to come hit you hard as they can. And you can just see that from the energy and the passion that Coach Mason has. And it's definitely the players definitely reflect him as a coach.
I guess with having the game canceled, what was that like, having kind of the abbreviated build-up to a game and then kind of trying to figure out what to do with the extra time? I know some of the other players said it felt like a really long time since you guys have actually stepped on the field, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely given that, fall camp feel back to the team, kind of where you feel like you're just ready to go hit somebody else at some point. Going on 2 weeks now, kind of just going against ourselves again. It's been good. I mean, it's gotten us better and realized stuff that we got to fix, but I think it's also given the guys a sense of excitement to go back out there.
A bunch of you guys have said that practice has been really good lately. What in your mind constitutes a good practice?
I think for one, the energy of practice, the tempo. For one, just guys flying around, making plays. I mean, just wanting to be out there. And I think some guys, for me, for everyone, some days you kind of come out there, it's hot, you're like, man, we got to practice. But, kind of changing that mindset from, we have to practice to I get to practice, you know what I mean? So really just going out there and just having the right mindset, really, and just getting better.
Javon said a good practice from his perspective is when the offense has to run a lot of gassers. The offense had to run a lot of gassers the last few days. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think on Thursday they had to run 2 and we only had to run 1. So I don't know what he was thinking about. But yeah, I mean, obviously getting in those competitive environments and coach would turn the music up, have it real loud, and really just kind of simulating a game and how competitive it is. And be like a red zone period. You got 10 plays and whoever wins, 6 out of 10 of them. The other side of the ball has to run. So just continuing to do those type of situations is just going to help us so much as a team.